The sun rose slowly over the colony of Velstranine. The sky was purple. The air was calm. Children laughed near the water pumps. Workers prepared for the new day. Farmers loaded food crates for the next trade ship. It was peaceful. Too peaceful. Captain. Rhea Morgan stood on the colony wall, holding a hot cup of bitter root tea. She looked out at the open plains. Her eyes were tired, but calm. She had lived here for 6 years. She had fought no wars. She had seen no enemies. Life here was simple. But that morning, something changed. Rhea's hand shook slightly. A strange sound filled the sky, a low hum. Faint at first, then louder. The birds fled. The animals went silent. A cold wind passed through the colony. Then it happened. Above the sky, black triangular ships appeared. Not one or two, but dozens. No warning, no radio call. No message, just silence and shadow. Rhea dropped her tea. The cup shattered. She shouted into her cum. Red alert! This is not a drill. Across the colony, sirens screamed. People ran. Soldiers grabbed weapons. But it was already too late. The first strike came at dawn. One of the alien ships fired a blue beam straight down. The main power plant exploded in a silent flash. No noise, just bright white light. And then darkness. Another ship released a storm of black pods. When they hit the ground, they opened like metal flowers. From inside came tall alien soldiers, Krithix warriors. They were 8 feet tall, with green armor and glowing eyes. They moved fast. They didn't speak. They shot anything that moved. Civilians screamed. Drones tried to fight back but were cut down. The colony wall fell in seconds. Fires spread. The sky turned red. Rhea tried to fight. She grabbed her plasma rifle and led a small group toward the command center. But a Krithix soldier landed right in front of her. She fired. It blocked the shot with its armored arm. Then it lifted her off the ground like a child's toy. You are weak, the creature hissed. Rhea spat in its face. It dropped her and prepared to strike, but suddenly a nearby fuel tank exploded. The blast threw both of them apart. Rhea crawled into cover, bleeding, but alive. Across the colony, destruction continued. By the time the sun was fully up, half of Velstranine was gone. A third of the people were dead. Another third were captured. The last few were hiding. The Krithix commander floated down on a hover platform. His armor was black. His skin was dark gray. His eyes glowed like ice. He looked around and smiled. Humans still follow war laws, he said to his second in command. No nukes, no bioweapons, no terror units. They are soft. They still believe in honor, the second one replied. They believe wrong, the commander said coldly. Then he stepped over a burning home and walked to the main radio tower. He activated the colony's wide signal broadcast and sent a message across space. This is Krithix Commander Varric. The human colony Velstranine is under our control. No resistance remains. We now claim this land and its resources under Krithix rule. Let this be a warning. He paused. Earth will not respond. They are civilized. They are slow. They follow the laws of war. He smiled again. They are predictable, but far away. Earth had already heard. Inside a dark room on Earth's moon base, a red light blinked. General Marcus Vale stood in silence, watching the feed from Velstranine. The images were still being received. Fires, screams, Krithix ships raining death. He clenched his fists. His assistant, LT Hana Chun, entered and froze when she saw the screen. They hit a peaceful colony. She whispered. No warning, Marcus said. No survivors. There was a long silence. Sir, Hana said carefully. What's the protocol? Marcus turned to her. His face was stone. They think we'll wait. They think we'll file reports. Ask the Galactic Council. Sit in meetings. And will we? Hana asked. Marcus walked to a secure wall. He placed his hand on a scanner. A hidden drawer opened. Inside was a red cube, glowing softly. Hannah stepped back. Is that? Yes, Marcus said. Protocol Hellfire. Her voice shook. But that system was banned, even by us. After what happened in the Europa conflict, they made us remember, Marcus interrupted. They broke the line first. He picked up the red cube and placed it on the table. It lit up the room. Connect me to Project Revenant. Deep under the oceans of Earth, in a secret base known as the Black Vault, something woke up. Old machines. Forgotten weapons. Systems older than the galactic peace laws. Weapons that were never supposed to be used again. The signal reached them, and one voice replied, Protocol Hellfire. Accepted. Back on Velstra 9, Commander Varric stood among. The ruins, report, he ordered. A Krithix officer stepped forward. Colony is secure. No more resistance. We found a few survivors hiding underground. We're processing them now. Good, Varric said. Begin resource extraction. This planet is ours now. But just then, a small Krithix soldier ran. Up, out of breath. Commander, we picked up a strange signal from deep space. It was short. One word. What word? Varric asked. The soldier swallowed hard. Awakened. Varric narrowed his eyes. That means nothing. But deep inside, something in him felt cold. Meanwhile, hidden far beyond known star systems, black ships began to rise from the shadows. No logos, no lights. Just dark, silent shapes. Each one was wrapped in forgotten tech plasma chains, anti-law disruptors, gravity slicers. These ships were not allowed in modern war. They were considered extinction class, but Earth no longer cared about permission. Inside one of the ships, a robotic voice spoke. Mission, Velstra 9. Objective, show them the price of touching what is ours. Another voice, very human, added, we warned them before. No one listened. On the Krithix homeworld, leaders watched the broadcast from Velstra 9. They clapped. They cheered. The Speaker of the Council said, this proves our strength. Humanity is soft. But as they laughed, an old Krithix general, now retired, stood and spoke. You shouldn't have done this, he warned. Not Earth, not them, the Council scoffed. Why? They won't fight back. They will, the old general whispered. But they won't fight your way. They will fight their way. And what does that mean? He looked around with hollow eyes. It means no more rules. Back on Earth, General Marcus stood in the war room, looking at a large galactic map. Red dots lit up Krithix bases. Command centers, supply lines. He tapped the table. Strike them all at once. Hannah blinked. Sir? That would violate 26 galactic treaties. Marcus didn't blink. They violated something more important, our peace. Then he gave the final order. Let Hellfire speak. In the black of space, 32. Human warships disappeared from sensors, stealth mode. No traces. They didn't use the gates. They used deep-fold tunnels, unstable and dangerous, but fast. They didn't ask permission. They arrived at their targets before the Krithix even knew. They were coming, and when they struck, the galaxy shook. The Krithix moonbase was quiet. It orbited a cold gas giant in Sector 12. It had never been attacked. Its shields had never failed. Its guards were bored. Commander Tarv sat in the control room, half asleep, drinking sour extract. From a thermal mug. Then the power flickered. For a second, the lights dimmed. A strange noise echoed in the walls. The screens glitched. One showed static. Another showed nothing. Just black. Tarv leaned forward. What is this? A technician checked the system. It's not from us, Commander. No known ship on approach. No signal. No ID tag. He paused. No heat. No engine trails. No sound. Commander Tarv stood. Raised the outer scans. The technician tried. His hands shook. Sir, we don't detect anything. But something's there. He nodded slowly. Yes, something is blocking starlight. Outside, just above the Krithik's moon, a shape hovered. It was not visible by light. It was not visible by heat. It had no sound. No code, no beacon. The ship was coated in void matter, a human-made material banned for destroying planetary sensors. It ate light. It erased shadows. It made the ship vanish into space itself. Only one name was printed on its side: HS Revenant. Inside the ship, General Marcus Vale stood in the command deck. Target? He asked. Confirmed. The AI replied. No. Alarms raised? None. Then it begins. He nodded once. The ship opened its underbelly and dropped a package. No missile. No bomb. Just a cube. Glowing red. It hit the Krithik's moon gently. Then everything stopped. Inside the moon base, alarms screamed. Mass field detected. Gravity rising. Shields down. Commander Tarv shouted. Evacuate. Get to the transports. But it was too late. The cube opened and sucked in light, mass, and matter. It collapsed a piece of reality into itself. The Krithik's moon didn't explode. It folded. Then it vanished. Silence. Across the galaxy. 29 Krithik's bases went dark in under an hour. Not one distress call made it through. Not one survivor lived to explain. In each case, human stealth ships appeared, delivered unknown weapons, then vanished. They broke every galactic war rule. No open declaration, no surrender offer, no communication, just punishment. The Galactic Council demanded answers. Earth sent none. Back on Velstra 9, Krithik soldiers loaded stolen materials into dropships. Commander Varric stood above the landing zone, watching calmly. He had not slept. He did not feel tired. He felt victorious. Then he received a message. Private channel. No ID code. He opened it. The screen turned black. A human face appeared. Female. Calm. Sharp eyes. This is Commander Shay Arden, HS Revenant. You are not authorized to, Varric began, but she cut him off. You attacked a peaceful colony. You killed civilians. You took prisoners. Varric smiled. Yes, and Earth will do nothing. Shay's voice was ice. We already did. Then the screen turned red. Behind Varric, the Krithik's dropships caught fire, one by one. No explosions, just burning from the inside. Screams filled the air. Varric turned and saw his soldiers fall to the ground, clutching their chests. What is this? A Krithik scientist crawled toward him. Our tech, our armor. It's being reversed. Reversed. Yes, it's turning on us. Then he stopped breathing. All across the landing zone, Krithik soldiers fell. Their own gear was killing them. Commander Varric fell to his knees. His body shook. Above, a black human ship appeared from nothing. Silent. Deadly. It didn't fire. It just hovered. Watching. In Earth's moonbase, Marcus Vale watched the mission feed. LT. Hana Chun stood beside him. Her eyes were wide. Her voice soft. You disabled their ships by infecting their tech? Marcus nodded. They use stolen Earth tech. Every colony has hidden firewalls. Silent protocols. Code that stays asleep until we wake it. Isn't that illegal? It was. She looked at him. We just committed 37 violations of galactic law. Marcus didn't flinch. They attacked first. They killed our people. She said nothing. He looked at her. This isn't war anymore, Hana. This is message. Back in the Galactic Council Hall, chaos ruled. Screens showed destroyed bases, dead moons, missing fleets. Ambassadors shouted. Alien leaders demanded answers. Some called Earth monsters. Others called Earth gods. Then the lights dimmed. A new message appeared. Not a person. Not a voice. Just 5 words, written in every galactic language. You touched what was ours. Then one final line appeared. We are not done. Krithik's high command was in panic. Admirals argued. Generals yelled. Their battle maps showed red X's locations no longer safe. Supplies lost. Reinforcements gone. One strategist shouted, "They broke the rules. They didn't declare war." Another yelled, "They erased an entire moon." But the oldest admiral said only one thing: "You started a fire," and poured oil on it. Commander Varric stood in a ruined outpost. His soldiers were gone. His dropships burned. His weapons jammed. He breathed hard. Then a human drone landed near him. Small, silver, quiet dot. It opened. Inside was a letter, just paper. Varric picked it up. It said, "You wanted a war. You got Earth's oldest kind. No mercy, no peace, no rules. We don't fight to win. We fight so it never happens again." In the depths of the Krithik's capital, scientists tried to understand the new weapons. They couldn't. Every human attack defied physics. Silent detonations. Timefold. Grenades. Grav break minds. Tech that shouldn't exist. Weapons from black projects Earth had buried long ago. And then. The worst discovery: humanity hadn't even used their full power yet. This was just the beginning. Back on Earth, inside a hidden mountain bunker, a machine lit up. Old. Cold. Locked for decades. It was named Sentinel Prime. A voice echoed in the room. Authorization confirmed. Protocol Hellfire Phase 2 ready. General Marcus watched the screen. "They wanted to see what we're capable of," he said. "They're about to wish they hadn't." The black ships vanished again, just like ghosts. No trails. No sounds. No signals. Across Krithik space, silence spread like a disease. Soldiers whispered. Commanders hesitated. Even the most brutal generals didn't sleep. Because Earth didn't ask for peace. They didn't ask for surrender. They just struck. And now, they were still watching. On a shattered mining world called Krex 4, a Krithik's patrol found a human flag. It was burned into a mountainside, not painted, not carved. Burned like a warning. Underneath the flag were words: "We saw what you did." One soldier touched the rock. The rock hissed. His hand caught fire. He screamed. In Earth's hidden base under the Arctic ice, Project Revenant came online. Massive machines turned on, weapons with no names, codes with no labels. Inside the control room, Commander Shay Arden stood before a glowing screen. LT. Hana Chun entered quietly. "They're starting to beg," she said. Shay didn't look away. "Let them. They sent messages to the Galactic Council. Ask for peace talks. We're not interested." "But the laws," Shay turned to her. "They killed children. They shot unarmed farmers. They tortured medics." She paused. "If you were there, you'd understand." Hannah's hands clenched. "I've seen the footage. Then you know." Shay pointed to the screen. "Our answer is this: mercy was never an option." In the Krithik's capital, panic was now routine. Their High Council gathered underground. They had replaced their walls with shields, their guards with drones, but nothing made them feel safe. Not after the moon vanished. Not after 29. Outposts went dark. Not after their ships turned on them. A young general said, "We must send a direct message to Earth. We must ask for forgiveness." An older warlord growled, "We do not kneel." The eldest on the council whispered, "You don't understand. We already did. When we hit Velstra 9. The room went silent. Commander Varric, still alive, sat in a dark cell. His armor gone, his soldiers gone, captured not by humans, but by his own kind. The Krithiks now saw him as the one who started a war they could not win. One guard threw food at his feet. "This is your fault," the guard said. Varric didn't answer. He stared at the wall. A single sentence was scratched into it over and over. "They warned us." Meanwhile, in deep space, Earth's Phase 2 began. New ships launched. These were silent judges, not fighters. Ships designed not to destroy armies, but to erase civilizations without sound. One of them, the HS Oblivion, approached Krithex's most prized city, Varnax Prime. A peaceful planet. Not military. Just pride, history, Culture. Marcus Vale gave the order. Don't destroy the city, just remove the sky. The crew obeyed. On Varnax Prime, people looked up. The stars disappeared. One by one. Not covered. Not hidden. Removed. The sky turned empty. A void. People panicked. Some screamed. Others prayed. A new message appeared on every screen. You didn't just touch us. You scarred us. Then another. Now we make you remember. Back in Earth's moonbase, LT, Hana stood before General Marcus. Sir, the Galactic Council has called an emergency vote. They're sending ships to block Earth. Marcus didn't flinch. They won't reach us in time. They say we've gone too far. Marcus turned to her. We were always too far for them, too wild, too human. He pointed to the map, but not far enough to ignore. Deep inside Earth's hidden vault, old data cores were accessed. These held humanity's ancient war logs, wars not of space, but of Earth. Logs from Hiroshima. Footage from trench warfare, echoes of firestorms, nuclear winds, cities falling in minutes. And Earth learned from every single one. Krithix thought humans had moved on from violence, but they didn't realize we had just buried it. Not forgotten. Just sleeping. Now it was awake again. Commander Shay Arden stood aboard HS Revenant, watching a holo recording. It showed her brother, a farmer on Velstra 9, laughing, cooking. She paused the video on his face. I'm sorry, she whispered. I should have been there. The AI voice replied gently. He would not want revenge. She shook her head. This isn't revenge. This is correction. On the edge of Krithix space, survivors from an outpost saw something strange. A ring in the sky, glowing white, pulsing slowly. Then it began to spin. The planet's gravity shifted. Oceans rose. Then the ring stopped, and the stars snapped back into place, but wrong. Rearranged. Artificial. One word filled every Krithix channel. Hello. It wasn't a greeting. It was a warning. The humans had just rewritten physics in that system. And now they could do it anywhere. Back on Earth, Marcus stood before a gathering of human war leaders. He looked around. Every one of them had lost someone on VELSTR. A-9. He said only 3 words. No survivors left. There were no cheers. No applause. Just quiet nods. Because this was never about winning. It was about ending the enemies. Will you ever try again? In the Galactic Council, the vote passed. They labeled Earth a level Omega threat. But no one moved against them. Because every race knew, if Earth really wanted to break the galaxy, they could. And no one could stop them. Far away, on a silent battlefield in space, a black ship drifted near a Krithix monument. It activated a single beacon. A voice played in every direction. Shay Arden spoke. This is humanity's message to those who believe we are soft. We are not soft. We are kind until you kill our peace. We are gentle until you strike our children. And we are civilized until you forget what we used to be. The beacon shut off. The monument shattered. The galaxy still believed Earth was angry, but anger had already passed. Now, humanity was calm. And that was worse. In the dark edges of space, the HS Revenant moved like a shadow. Commander Shay Arden stood quietly in her command room. Her eyes, cold, focused. LT, Hana Chen approached her. They're evacuating another system, she said. Shay didn't blink. Let them run. No resistance? They know it's useless now. Krithix Command had just one goal left. Delay the humans. They burned maps, destroyed their own bases, tried to erase traces of who ordered the Velstra 9 attack, but it was too late. Earth already had names, they had locations, and they had a new protocol. Scorch Directive. On the planet Zarian 5, a Krithix archive world. Sirens echoed. Commanders ordered the destruction of all historical data. Flames spread through massive libraries. Vaults were sealed. General Karen watched it all with shaking hands. They can't find what we built, he whispered, but above, Earth's stealth satellites were already recording. Not to stop them, but to remember. Because soon, Zarian 5 would not exist. Commander Shay Arden gave the signal. One human ship appeared, HS. Ruin. A black spear in the sky. It didn't fire bombs, it didn't land troops. Instead, it changed gravity. Zarian 5. Cracked. Its oceans boiled into the sky. Its moon fell toward the surface. General Karen screamed orders, but the radio died. Final message flashed across his base. You erased one world. Now watch yours fall. Then, the ground split open, and Zarian 5 became memory. Meanwhile, on Earth, General Marcus Vale stood before the United Terran Council. Behind him was a hologram showing a map of Kritic space. More than half was now red. Status? A council member asked. Marcus answered without emotion. 17 systems neutralized. 8 in progress. They're trying to surrender, another said. Marcus didn't nod. They can surrender when they've lost everything. Silence followed. No one argued, because they had all seen the burning farms on VELSTR, -9. They had heard the children screaming. Now, the screams came from Kritic space. At the border station Juno Verge, 2 Kritic ships arrived. With white flags. They sent out a message. We want peace. We didn't agree with the attack. Earth's reply came from a small drone. No voice, just text. You didn't stop it. Then the drone exploded. Both ships were vaporized in seconds. Not out of rage. Just policy. In the hidden bunkers of Kritic's Prime, top leaders hid under layers of steel and shields. One asked, what do the humans want? An old scientist replied, justice. Another said, no, they want emptiness. Of what? The scientist looked up. Of us. Earth's strategy became clear. They weren't targeting just armies or leaders. They were targeting hope. Cities were shut down silently. Power grids reversed. Gravity wells triggered. No sound. No lights. Just disappearance. And each time, a message appeared. You took one of ours. We take 10. On the Kritic's moon Varith, a group of civilians stood in terror. A black dot grew in the sky. No sound. No ships. Just pressure. Then everything. Around them, walls, buildings. Streets turned into dust. The people stood, untouched. Shaking. Breathing fast. Then a message played in the air. You survived. Don't forget why. And the dot vanished. In the Galactic Council, fear turned into silence. Other species asked each other in hushed tones, will humans stop? Can we stop them? Who's next? The council leader finally spoke. They do not want peace. They want history to remember. He looked out the window, toward Earth Star. We will remember. Back on HS Revenant, Shay Arden watched a map blink, red again. Varith spared, the AI said. Hana looked confused. You didn't destroy it? No, not this one. Why? Shay's voice was low, because someone on Velstra 9 once said, mercy isn't weakness, it's a choice. She looked up, and now they'll know we chose not to destroy them. Hannah whispered, that's more terrifying. Shay nodded once. That's the point. Deep in a hidden Kritic's lab, a young scientist broke into old files. She saw what her government had covered up. Velstra 9 attack wasn't an accident. It was a test. They wanted to see how much damage they could cause. Without response, her claws shook. We did this, she whispered. We killed them. And now, she knew Earth was teaching them what that cost. One last fortress remained, Kritic's Prime, the capital. The route, the command, heavily shielded. Fully armed. Orbited by 40 defense satellites, Marcus Vale stood on Earth's orbital station, looking at it through a glass window. He didn't blink. Prepare file protocol. Shay Arden sent confirmation from Revenant. All ships aligned. Above Kritic's Prime, Earth didn't fire bombs. Instead, they released a mist. Nanits, microscopic machines that moved like air. The sky turned silver dot, then it fell. And with it, power failed. Weapons jammed. Shields collapsed. Lights died. And people looked up to a final message written in their sky. We never wanted war, but you brought it. Now, you'll never forget Earth. Then the sky went dark. Forever. The war was over. At least, that's what the galaxy thought. Krithix Prime had fallen, their leaders captured. Their fleets erased. They sent a message to Earth. One simple line. We surrender. But Earth said nothing. Not a word, not a sound, just silence. On the ruined surface of Krithix Prime, ash covered everything. Fires still burned in places where cities once stood. A Krithix mother held her child and looked up. The sky was still dark silver mist floating slowly, never clearing. Suddenly, every screen on the planet lit up. A face appeared. Human. Calm, cold. Commander Shay Arden. She didn't speak. Instead, a timer appeared beside her face, counting down 12 o'clock. 11:59, the mother screamed. What happens when it reaches zero? No answer. The timer just kept ticking. In Earth's high-orbit base, General Marcus Vale stood in silence. LT. Hannah approached. Sir, they're begging. Marcus nodded once. Good. They've shut down their armies. They had the chance to do that before Velstra 9. They're offering their data vaults. Secrets, even tech. Marcus turned. We don't need secrets. Then what do we want? He stared out at the stars. Memory. Back in the Galactic Council, confusion spread. The Krithix delegate stood broken, his voice shaking. We've surrendered. What more can we give? The council leader whispered. They're not asking for something. They're showing us something, another delegate said. What? And the answer was simple. Fear. On the ground, the countdown kept ticking. 10:14, 9:47. Krithix citizens fled to bunkers, hoping, praying. Military radios buzzed with panic. This isn't peace. This is psychological warfare. What happens at zero? No one knew. And Earth refused to explain. Inside the HS Revenant, Shay Arden watched in silence. Hannah said quietly, what if they panic too hard? Shay's eyes stayed on the screen. They should. Hannah didn't smile. She whispered, this isn't war anymore. Shay finally answered, no, it's a reminder. 9 minutes left. On Krithix Prime, some began to riot. Others stood frozen. A few fell to their knees and prayed. Above the panic, Earth deployed no bombs. No. Ships landed, just drones. Silent, black, watching. Civilians looked up at them with tears in their eyes. Say something. They cried, but the drones only blinked. Recording. Floating. And counting. In the ruins of a Krithix temple, an old priest knelt before a half-burned statue. Forgive us, he whispered. Then he heard a click. Behind him stood a human. Unarmed. A soldier. Just a man in black. The priest trembled. You're here. The human didn't speak, just placed something on the altar, a piece of burned wood. From VELSTR, A-9. Then he turned and walked away. No words. No threat. 5 o'clock. In orbit, Earth ships aligned into a strange formation, not attack positions. A shape, a symbol. One word in Earth standard, never. And below it, the same word appeared on Krithix buildings. Screens. Floors. Never. Some cried. Others fainted. The galaxy watched in horror. Because they now understood. This wasn't just punishment. This was a scar. 3 o'clock. In a hidden Krithix base. The last general stood with his officers. We have nothing left to give. One said, we can leave the galaxy, another offered. But the general knew. They wouldn't chase us. He paused. They don't want us dead. They want us marked, and they were. 1 o'clock. Every Krithix system turned. Black, screens, lights, power. Dawn. Then the stars reappeared, but not the real stars. Artificial ones, positioned into the symbol. For Velstra 9's colony, the exact map of the village they destroyed, put into the sky above them. So every night, they would see what they tried to erase. 0 o'clock. The countdown ended, but nothing exploded. No fire. No death. Just one line appeared, "We remember." And then, silence on Earth. No celebration. No speeches. Just quiet. Shay Arden sat alone in her cabin. She played a video her brother's voice from Velstra 9. "The stars are calm tonight. I think we're finally safe." She smiled weakly and let the video play again. LT. Hannah stood outside her door. She didn't knock. Just stood there, because she knew. This wasn't a victory. It was a warning. To everyone. In the Galactic Council. One delegate whispered to another, "They didn't destroy Krithix." The other replied, "No, but they destroyed something worse." "What?" The answer came cold. "The illusion that humans had limits. Krithix was finished. Their fleets gone. Their leaders captured. Their power crushed. But some still refused to accept it. In a deep bunker beneath Krithix Prime, a group of surviving generals met for one last plan. "It's not over," one growled. "We still have the Omega Vault," another whispered. A tall officer leaned in. "If we activate it, we kill billions." A long silence. Then General Crass said, "Good, let them feel what we felt." They called it Project Endburst, a hidden weapon, planted long ago, unseen, unknown, capable of destroying entire systems with one pulse. It was never used. Because even the Krithix feared it. But now, they were out of time, out of pride, out of options. Far away, on Earth's orbital command ship, Commander Shay Arden studied quiet space. LT. Hannah spoke. "We've detected strange energy spikes." "From where?" "Krithix outer rim, a planet that wasn't on their records." Shay raised an eyebrow. "They're hiding something. Should we stop it?" Shay looked away, thought for a second, then she said, "No." Back in the Krithix bunker, countdowns began. Lights flickered red. Engineers panicked as unstable cores powered up. One whispered, "What if Earth sees this as war again?" General Crass laughed. "They already ended the war. This is our goodbye gift." His hands shook slightly. He hoped somewhere deep inside that Earth might respond, fight back, prove they still feared something. Anything. 30 minutes left until launch. The weapon would detonate in a nearby system, the heart of neutral space. Billions would die. Trade routes would collapse. Peace would fall apart. And Earth would be blamed. Exactly what Krithix wanted. 20 minutes left. The Galactic Council sent a warning to Earth. "Krithix is planning something big. Do you know anything?" Earth's reply was simple, "Yes." Council members waited for more. They got nothing. 15 minutes left. On the HS Revenant, Shay sat alone, watching a silent video feed from the Krithix bunker. General Crass stood before the console. Grinning, Shay's hand hovered over a command. One tap could destroy the bunker instantly. But she didn't move. 10 minutes. Crass looked at the camera, stared straight at the humans. Watching, he raised a middle finger and smiled. Earth did nothing. No missiles. No reply. No anger. Nothing. 5 minutes. Crass was sweating now. He kept checking the feed. Why aren't they reacting? He muttered. A junior officer whispered, "Maybe they don't care." Crass turned. "Of course they care." His voice cracked. "They're just trying to scare us." 1 minute. The screen changed. Suddenly, Earth's signal came through. Crass straightened. Shay Arden appeared. She looked calm. Her voice soft. "Is this how you want to be remembered?" Crass stared. No more messages, no more talks. She nodded. Then, "Enjoy your silence." The screen went black. The button was pressed. The core activated. The Omega weapon powered to full. And then, It died. All lights went out. The console shut down. The core turned cold. Crash screamed, slamming buttons. What happened? An officer whispered, pale-faced. They shut it off, remotely. Up in orbit, a single Earth drone hovered near the bunker. It blinked once and flew away. Earth didn't retaliate. They didn't punish. They didn't respond. They simply refused to care. And for Krithix, that was worse than death. Kras sat alone in the bunker. No lights. No power. No noise. Just silence. And in that silence, his mind broke, because the one thing Earth gave them now was nothing. Back on Earth, General Marcus Vale read the report. Hannah stood nearby. It's over, she said. Marcus nodded. Double quotes, yes, for them. She looked confused. We didn't destroy the weapon. We didn't even punish them. Marcus looked up slowly. They expected pain. But we gave them something worse. What? Emptiness. News spread fast. The galaxy saw everything. They saw Krithix beg. They saw Earth not respond. They saw the Omega weapon shut down like a toy. And fear spread deeper than ever before, because everyone now knew you can fight a human army. But you can't fight a human that doesn't care anymore, on a peaceful world light years away. Two alien students spoke in whispers. Do you think Earth is done now? One answered, they weren't trying to win. What then? They were trying to end the idea of Krithix. And did they? A long pause. Then a nod. Yes, not with weapons, but with silence. The war was over. Years passed. Krithix Prime had no armies now. No fleets. No weapons. Instead, they had tools. Farms, schools. They had hope again. The buildings rose from ruins. Markets opened. Laughter returned slowly, but deep below the surface. Something else remained. Something silent. Something left behind by Earth. A child named Tarn played outside a school. He pointed up. Mama, what is that? In the sky floated a silver shape. No engines. No noise. Just a small Earth drone. It had been there for 7 years. It never moved. Never spoke. Just watched. The mother pulled Tarn close. Don't look at it. Why not? She whispered. Because it remembers. The people of Krithix called them the Watchers, small drones. Left behind by Earth. No one could touch them. Anyone who tried disappeared. Sometimes they floated above homes. Sometimes above graveyards. Sometimes they hovered low, almost touching the ground, just to remind everyone. You're not alone. In the capital, a new leader had risen. Prime Regent Veeler. He had never fought in the war. He was young, calm, clever. He stood before the Council of Rebirth and said, we must stop fearing ghosts. They're not ghosts, one elder said. They're cameras, another whispered. They're proof that Earth is still watching. Veeler shook his head. We're building a future. But they won't let us forget the past. Elsewhere, deep in the forest zone of Sector 14, an engineer named Solon discovered something strange. A metal plate buried under soil. It wasn't Krithix tech. It was Earth's. She wiped it clean and read the message. It said, this land was once burned. If you forget why, we will remind you. Solon froze. And quietly covered it back up. In classrooms, children asked questions. Why did Earth do this? Did we really deserve it? Teachers hesitated. Some told the truth. Others stayed silent. But no one said Earth was wrong. Not anymore. Years passed. Krithix. Cities became stronger. Trade reopened with other worlds. Galactic leaders said Krithix had changed. But still, Earth said nothing. Didn't speak. Didn't visit. Didn't attack. They just left there. Watchers. And the Watchers never blinked. One day, a child's body was found. No wounds. No sign of harm. But beside him was a burned image of Velstra 9, the Earth colony Krithix destroyed during the war. The doctors couldn't explain it. The parents wept. And someone whispered, Earth reminded us again. In the spaceport, Veeler stood with his advisor. They're haunting us, the advisor said. No. Veeler answered. They're teaching us. Teaching what? That we'll never truly rebuild, unless we accept what we did. Veeler ordered something bold. He built a monument of memory. In the capital center, huge stone walls. One side showed Krithik cities falling, the other side showed Earth's colonies burning, and in the center, etched in deep metal, never again. He invited Earth to the ceremony. Sent a signal. A ship arrived. It didn't land. Just hovered. Then it opened, and out walked one woman, Shay Arden, still alive, still silent. She walked to the monument, touched the word never, and looked around. Thousands watched, but she said nothing, just nodded once and left. The next day, half the watchers disappeared. Not all. Just half, enough to make the Krithix people realize Earth had seen the monument. And Earth had judged them. Prime Regent Veeler stood before his people. We will carry this scar forever, he said, but we will also carry the strength to change. And for the first time, no one argued. In a quiet room deep below Earth's orbit station, General Marcus Vale read the report. Should we erase the rest of the Watchers? It Hannah asked. Marcus shook his head. Not yet. Why? He looked at her. Because memory is the sharpest weapon. Shay Arden stood alone in her quarters. She whispered a name, her brother's name, and then looked out the window, where stars burned silently. Earth didn't need to conquer. Earth didn't need revenge. They had something better. Time, memory, and silence sharp as steel. The war was long over. Krithix had rebuilt. The galaxy was stable again, but everywhere, from the richest worlds to the smallest moons, there was one thing no one forgot. Colon Earth. On the world of Limos, a young alien child asked his teacher, are the humans really gone? The teacher nodded slowly. They went quiet after the Krithix War. The child frowned. Were they heroes? The teacher paused. Then said carefully, no, they were something stronger. They were a reminder. In the Galactic Hall, leaders gathered. The speaker stood up. Shall we award Earth with the Medal of Last Peace? Some nodded, others didn't. Did they ask for it? One delegate asked. No. Did they respond to our invite? No. A long silence followed. One voice said softly, then maybe. We shouldn't give them medals. We should give them space. On Earth, there were no parades. No celebrations. No grand museums. The people returned to quiet lives. Farms. Research labs. Children playing in parks. The stars watched in silence. Shay Arden retired. She moved to a small home near the ocean. She kept one thing on her wall, a photo of her brother, smiling, holding a star map. Below it, written by hand, we didn't want fear, we wanted peace. But when they took peace, we showed them what we were willing to become to protect it. In orbit above a neutral trade station, a Krithix merchant ship passed by an Earth freighter. The Krithix captain froze for a moment. Old memories sparked, but then the human ship blinked its lights. A peaceful signal. The Krithix captain replied, and passed safely. No threat. No hate. Just quiet. Watchers were gone now, every last one. Vanished silently during the night cycle. Krithix. Prime woke up and looked to the sky. Empty. For the first time in a decade. Children pointed. Are they finally gone? One elder smiled. No, they just know we finally understand. Back on Earth's moon base, Hannah walked the observation deck. A young cadet beside her asked, why didn't we destroy Krithix completely? Hannah smiled faintly. Because power is easy. Then what's hard? Mercy, and choosing silence over fire. The cadet looked confused. Then why does everyone still call us monsters? Hannah looked out at the stars. Because monsters don't wait for thanks. The galaxy changed. Empires who once mocked Earth started studying human history. Tacticians read the Earth-Krithix War like scripture. But no one could copy Earth's real weapon. Not ships, not AI, not tech. Their weapon was restraint. In a faraway system, deep within an academy, a young alien officer in training read a final exam question. What made Earth the most feared civilization after the Krithix War? He wrote just 4 words. They didn't want power. And he passed. The Galaxy Council once tried to name Earth the Guardian of Peace. Earth didn't show up, didn't answer, didn't care. The Council sighed. They are truly alone. But another leader whispered, no, they're not alone, they're just free. One last story spread through the galaxy like wildfire. It was about an alien general years after the war, who went to Earth uninvited. He wanted to prove he wasn't afraid. He landed, stepped onto Earth soil. And found no army waiting, just old people, children, trees. He walked for hours, until he came to a field. At the center was a rock, carved into it. We were kind, until we couldn't be. Remember that. The general sat down. And wept. Because Earth never wanted to rule, never wanted applause. They just wanted peace. But when peace was broken, they reminded the galaxy why humans were once monsters in stories, and why stories still whisper their name in the dark. On Krithix Prime, a statue was built, not of Krithix heroes, but of an unknown human, standing, silent, watching. At the base were 3 words. We remember still. Back on Earth, Shayarden walked the beach alone. Waves touched her feet. A soft breeze passed. She whispered, we didn't fight to win. We fought so we'd never have to fight again. Then she looked up. And saw no ships. No drones. Just stars, watching. Quietly. On Earth, they returned to silence, because silence was the only thing louder than war.